Hey guys, what's up? I recorded like what? 2, maybe 3 videos before this one, which you guys aren't going to see because I decided to kind of change focus a little bit. The original videos were on, I was really just like thanking you guys for, you know, liking the last 2 vids I did, particularly because, as you already know, I was a bit worried about how the first one was going to come out because I was, you know, pretty agitated and I don't like doing videos like that. And I was also going to, you know, thank you guys for the really interesting commentary that's been put under it, even though I've gotten a couple more on showing up in those videos too. You guys can check out for yourselves. It's interesting. But, and then I was also going to be discussing a little bit about my views on things because I realized that some of the things I said in the video might make some of you guys believe that I might believe in one particular political leaning or another. And I wanted to just get it, and I made this long explanation. I was just getting it out the way that whatever political thought or political ideology you may think that I have, you're probably wrong. If you're gonna say, oh, he must be leftist, or he must be socialist, or he must be capitalist, or he seems libertarian, or what? I'm not any of those things. Okay, don't even try. You're gonna fuck yourselves over if you try. You're not going to get it. You'll always be disappointed if you think I believe in one particular thing because you later on hear me saying something else. I'm somebody who just looks at reality, and I also like analyzing systems as they are. So yeah, there are certain things I believe, but they don't really run with just one particular ideal. And I'm also one of those people that's like, well, this is what I believe, but this is what we got right now. So that might help you to figure out what I believe about certain systems. If it doesn't, well, just watch the vids. Rather, I wanted to go on a different tack because I just finished catching up with Kbiomech vids. Because there are a lot of people who, because I have been in New York, and then after that I've been trying to concentrate on my new job. Well, trying to get my new job. It looks like I may have gotten it. I had to catch up with YouTube stuff, and one of the people I had to catch up with was Kbiomech. I always watch his stuff. And his latest videos are excellent. Man, you're watching this right now, I love your stuff. You know I love his stuff. But I had to respond to 2 particular videos you made, and I'll try to do it real quick on this one. First was on my I Weep for the Future one. And I wish I had done this one sooner. I should have responded to this particular aspect sooner because in that last video I did before I rushed to New York, the I Weep for the Future one, some people got the misconception that I personally believe I'm responsible for apologizing for the stupidity of people who happen to have extra melanin in their skin just like me. And that actually isn't the case. If I made it seem that way, I'm sorry. But this is what it is. It's not that I feel it's my responsibility to try to apologize or make up for the stupidity of, you know, other black people, quote unquote. It's more that I feel that it's sort of my job to prove that we're not the stereotype. We can be smart too. Now, this is not about, you know, trying to prove that black people are smarter than white people, or white people are smarter than black people. I know that people will try to come up with really stupid statistics to prove that, but brain power is not linked to race, despite what people may think. It's circumstantial evidence. Culture shows what happens with intelligence, and depending on the culture depends on how much they nourish intelligence. Human beings on a whole, no matter what they are fucking stupid. If you don't believe me, just look at the common people of any group. Yeah, they may seem a little bit more intelligent than some other cultures, but by and large you tend to find that they can be just as dumb or just as easily misled as another group of people. By and large, humans are quite dumb. However, there are small pockets of intelligence that show up every now and then, that pop up in different cultures and in different races all over. And all I'm trying to do is show that, yes, it can happen with black people too. No matter how many times people try to deny this, in this country, it is a common thought, it's a common misconception that black people as a whole can't amount to much. And despite people trying to say that, black people can achieve anything they want, we believe in equality, deep down inside they don't believe that. You talk to the common American, they generally believe that black people tend to be geared towards entertainment or physical endeavors if they want to achieve anything. They don't think they can achieve much here. So here I am trying to break that stereotype. No, we can be intellectuals, and we have been. And then some asshole goes around and fucks it up and supports the stereotype, and that pisses me off. That's where my beef lies. So yeah, I'm just saying that, look, yeah, blacks can be stupid, but we can also be smart too. We're not just limited to stupid. Alright, which is a common misconception. Anyway, let me get off of that. I hate talking about race, and quite frankly, people who get me talking about race, if they're not well-intentioned, if they happen to be the idiots that, piss me off, I tend to have a special hatred for them. Because I don't like talking about race. I hate all humans equally. Enough of that. I really wanted to get into talking about your latest video when you were talking about the middle class. Before I start, I don't want to steal your thunder because you said that you might do another video on explaining why the middle class can't survive if shit goes down, if crap messes up. You were saying, Kbiomech, for anyone who doesn't understand what I'm talking about, you were mentioning that the rich and the poor are better suited to survive and the middle class aren't. I wholeheartedly agree, and I'm going to kind of touch on that in this, but I don't want to steal your thunder because I really want you to put that video out. I think you would explain it a lot better than I could, but I will touch on it a little bit. But before I even go into that, I want to go into my characterization of the middle class and middle class rant because it amused you. And I just wanted to, I felt that, well, since it cracked you up, let me at least tell you how I came to that. It came to me when I was 17, but I fully reasoned it out when I was 21. I know I wrote in the comment that it was 21, but I was looking back on it and I realized it hit me when I was 17, 18, when I first went to college. It was the third night I was there. I'll never forget this. Third night, I found out there was some big meeting, some, I guess, for lack of a better term, I'll call them a people's lobbyist. You know, one of those people who tries to start grassroots organizations to petition government. There was some meeting in college at night, 7:30 at night, I think. And he was trying to get people all geared up to, think about politics and really go out there and force and find some volunteers to go over and petition the government to, not cut, spending for colleges and college tuition grants, and also to try to get them to tax the rich. And I'm sitting there going, this makes no freaking sense. So finally, after about an hour of his rhetoric, he asks, of course, any questions from the audience. And of course, I raise my hand and I go, look, you know how this country was started, right? This country was started by businessmen. The founding fathers, no matter whatever labels we may give them, patriots, great thinkers and all that, intellectuals, but they were also businessmen. They were rich. That's why this is a capitalist society. They believed in the power of capital. They set up this nation this way. For a while, they even believed that only men of capital should be allowed to vote. That's how far they took it. And as time went on, as government continued to grow, it was people of capital, businessmen, rich people, who dictated the way governments would go. After all, they're the ones paying the bribes. They're the ones lobbying, sending lobbyists to petition their views. They're the ones paying for campaigns. And many people in government either have stock in business or are in business themselves. So my question to you is this. Well, my question to the lobbyists. How the hell are you going to get the rich to tax themselves? They're in government. They are government. They're not going to fucking tax themselves. How are you going to get them to do that? And it's funny how the emotional tide of the room shifted. It's like everybody in there was, oh. And even the lobbyist couldn't answer me. He was just like, so he didn't think. And as I left the room, that's when I started realizing that's why the middle class were so stupid. Because I was beginning to understand from the way the room was going, he was working off of emotion, anger. We gotta tax the rich and all that. See, here's the problem with the middle class, and this is why they can't survive. Anybody in power understands that when you want to control a group of people, you do not work through them through reasoning. You don't reach them with logic. You work through emotion. You always get them through emotion. You get them to emotionally respond, because while they're doing that, they don't think and they don't use logic. And this is exactly what's going on with the middle class. Look at what's going on with these stupid town hall meetings and these idiots showing up who have no clue what the fuck they're talking about, but they are angry, as you did say in your video. Now, you can say it is useful because it at least leads to change, but it isn't always good change. They're working off of emotion. Look at what happened with 9/11, with the Patriot Act. The reason why they were able to get these people to instantly swallow that bill and overlook all the freedoms that were being destroyed is because they worked off of fear. If you don't do this, the terrorists would have won. They're going to poison our water supplies and they're going to put sarin gas in the air and they're going to bomb and blow everything up. We need to put this bill into effect. We need to. And of course, the people went with it. Why? Because they were afraid. You work off emotion. And this is exactly what's going on with the middle class. Whenever they want the middle class to react, as Fox News and the right wing are doing right now, they don't work with them with facts. If you notice, nothing that they're saying pertains to any facts whatsoever. Instead, it works off their fear or their anger. Get them to emotionally react. This is why the middle class are as fucked as they are and why they're as stupid as they are. because they're not a class that's being geared toward thinking. Their class is being geared toward reacting emotionally. And as long as you can get people to react emotionally, you've got them in your pocket. You get somebody to react emotionally, and all logic and reason go right out the window, because they're no longer using the logic parts of their brain, they're using the emotional part. I'm running out of time, so I just want to quickly touch on, for anybody who's still kind of confused on why Kbiomech and myself believe that it's the rich and the poor both who can survive, but the middle class don't, because you might think, no, it's only the rich who can survive. Again, Kevin, do a video on that, it's going to be awesome. But I'll just say this real quick before I run out of time. The rich are able to set the game up so that surviving works in their favor. The poor struggle through life, so they have the tools and the wits to do it. The middle class, on the other hand, follow, and thus they can't survive.